can't make this just a conversation. We really have to act on these things. Where, I mean, the sky's the limit, baby. See how, look at that shit. You can't even touch that shit.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Sicarah. Sorry, should I be going? Sorry. I'm like, I'm confused. Okay, I could go, right? Okay. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Sicarah. You already know you are tuned into the Sicarah Show, and today I am so excited to introduce my 3 guests today. Fame, PdotC,
how's it going?
Sullivan Beats.
What's up?
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for being with me today. I can't wait to talk about your project, actually. I shouldn't say project. Girls on Road. So talk to me about the title. Who came up with it?
Definitely. I think you came up. Maybe we did it together. I can't remember, but pretty much it was just kind of. So we got our last 2 projects or whatever. It's called Girls Who Travel and then Girls on Tour or whatever. So we just kind of keeping the theme consistent. And Girls on Road, we try to make it so it's kind of like driving music for the most part, right? Like a good chill vibe. Definitely for this kind of setting as far as like the weather in the winter time. So that's the kind of concept of it.
That's fire. I really got to know about the order of these tracks too. Like, it's definitely a vibe, each record, by the way. I was in my feels throughout it. So
definitely.
Let me know about that.
I put the order together, and I think I usually just go with the beats, and I think shout out to Sullivan. I just listen to the beats mostly, and then see what transitions afterwards, and then really just try to take the listeners on a journey. That's it, like Girls on Road. I want you to feel like you're on the experience, like you're actually driving somewhere, and then you're going through, whether you're stopping at a gas station somewhere, stopping at your destination, you can definitely vibe to the music the entire time.
Yeah, and one of the first songs, Lo-Fi Girls, which we was just playing, Sullivan Beats produced it. So you remember like making that beat and kind of what you were thinking about at that point?
Yeah, it's funny you guys talk about like having an experience and just kind of vibing, because when I made that beat, it was like I was just trying to kind of create like an atmosphere, and just like I wanted to make like this space, like this like space in your ears, you know, where it just takes you somewhere.
Right.
And most of the time I like to try to do that, but with this beat especially, like, I don't know, I showed it to a few people, and they were like this like sounds like a place, like it's an experience.
Right.
So I'm really glad you guys, you know, brought it to your project. And
Yeah, nah, it was dope. It was dope for sure.
yeah.
Definitely a vibe. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is so smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I thought the same thing. Just smooth beats on there.
Not too much going on. So.
Yeah. Perfect for the intro.
Yeah. I like beats like that, especially when it's like when you really have something to say or talk about, because it's like they're like really tuned in, like the lyrics they kind of focusing on, but like the beat is so subtle that it just kind of carries you.
that's a fact. And I'm not gonna lie, Cabin in the Woods is my personal favorite.
Word, definitely.
You came up with that one.
Yeah. Cabin in the Woods. Again, just like, you know, this weather and the experience is like Valentine's Day just came up. A lot of people had a cabin in the woods somewhere for sure. So I just wanted people, I think the beat, again, I think Adrex is on the beat. Adrex made the beat. Just the vibe, just that vibe and that experience, because I think everybody has been in that place before, or know what it looks like, or seen it on TV, or want that experience, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah, so just to kind of make it like romantic and stuff like that too. So I think that was like a good, like when I write like my verse, I'm the second verse on that track. I try to make it as vivid as possible. Right. So it's like if we're talking about a cabin in the woods, I start off like, we could get a cabin in Connecticut. So I'm already like picking like the place or the destination where we at in the verse. So
and then it's like it's definitely a love song, but it's like a bigger purpose. Like it's bigger than the moments that we had. Like what are we doing in the future, right? Like we could get a cabin in the woods, but also I'm saying I could take you out the hood, take you out for good, like for sure. You know, it's bigger than what we're just doing right now. So that's kind of the vibe. It's like having a conversation, right? On this romantic trip that we're on.
That's dope.
Sure.
And I do want to talk about some of those lyrics because they stood out to me. All right. So tell me all your goals and plans. Are you looking for a partner or a man? Are you trying to get a house or a room? And I was like, oh, I felt that.
Right.
Because people need to know there's a big difference
Definitely.
between the house and a room. So
Definitely.
how important is it to know somebody's mindset?
I think it's very important because you know everyone as a person has their own intentions. You know, like I know I have a twin brother, but we individually is on a life journey individually, and everyone is on that same life journey. So really making sure, like, if you're aligning with somebody, what's their goals, and making sure that it aligns with you. And I think, again, going back to like to the lyrics, we get caught up in like this moment, or like, you know, social media plays a big role in it, but it's just like some people get so caught up in just like the here right now when you could be playing the long game. And it's just like, yeah, we could be getting all these rooms, but what if we got land, right? And that's more than a room. We could do that 4, 5, 6 times a year versus once a week in a year. You know what I mean? I'm real big on ownership, and I see ownership in my future for sure.
I love that.
No, that's deep. That's deep.
That's how deep. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. The way the song is, it's supposed to hit you, because it's like, yo, these are the type of conversations we need to be having, like, for sure. Like, yeah, we in love, we in lust. This is here, but bigger future always.
So that's like kind of the concept of like what's going through your head when you're driving too, right?
Right.
Exactly. That's the sort of stuff I think about.
Yeah, you really think about life.
Go deep.
You think about life. Do you think, like, as far as like relationships and stuff like that, do you think like that's very important too? Like the mindset that you like maybe like a potential significant other, like, you know, because some people could be on one level versus a different one, and then like that alone can kind of defeat the whole like mission altogether.
Right.
You know what's so funny about me, which is really different, I think, from most people? Like, I can meet you at any level, and as long as we laugh and we get along, you know, I won't really be so much going crazy, but only for a certain amount of time, if that makes sense. Like, you could be in the room and I can be in the house, but I'm gonna give you like 2.5 years, and I need you to be closer to the house than when we met. Like, that's kind of like my thing, because I feel like everybody has potential. Everybody goes through things, but you're right. If somebody is like, I don't ever want to be in a house, then you don't want to waste your time. So that's why I felt those lyrics heavy.
Nah, for sure, I agree.
I mean, y'all ever had a situation where y'all was talking to a girl and, you know, she looked bad or whatever, and then you realize, oh wow, we're really going 2 separate ways? Did y'all ever have to be like, no, thank you?
I think you know, like, I've met people in the past, and it's just like, you think you're gonna hit it off, and then once you go out like one time and y'all have the conversation, it could just be like a regular conversation. I could just get turned off that. Just like, nah, I'm not doing this again.
It's like that.
It's like the mindset's not there. The
you can tell
frequency
quick
is not on the
sometimes.
same level.
No, I'm trying to use like the dating apps right now, and I'm trying to get better at that, like just like kind of reading the situation, you know what I mean? Like, because like sometimes you can kind of like figure it out just like from like a conversation that you're having with someone, or figure out where they're at versus where you're at.
See, with me, I give everybody a fair chance. Like, we'll go out at least once. Like, I'll be like, all right, well. And the one time is over, like, all right, nah, it's over, but yeah.
Me, I'm married, and so I think that like marriage is a big thing, but I've been with my wife for a very long time, so we've been like a big portion of my life have been together. So it's just like understanding our plans and our goals is like really important, like making sure we're moving in the direction that we see fit, you know what I mean? So definitely.
Congratulations. I'm so happy to hear that. I love to see like young people who are actually married, because I feel like there's a stigma now where it's like, no, I don't want to share with another person. And I'm like, but it's harder alone. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, definitely.
So I definitely want to talk to you guys about vulnerability, because in your songs, there's some lyrics and some tracks that I was like thoroughly impressed, you know, where I was like, wow, like, you opening up, talking about heartbreak and things of that nature. So talk to me about that. What is it like recording and like opening your heart out in a studio with a mic and a booth?
Yeah, I love that process. That's like my favorite process, like, because I feel like, to me, the greatest feeling in the world to me is like having lyrics or something in your head, and then like recording it like through the audio system, and then it's like out on like Apple Music. Like that's like mind blowing to me because it came from my head. You know what I mean? It's like I made it real life. And then like I think I fell in love with music because when I was little, I heard songs that made me feel things, and I'm like, I want to make songs just like that. Like I want to, like if I'm having conversation with my bros, like real conversations, and like this is how they feeling, I'm like, I want to put that in music. If I'm venting to my bro, I want to put that type of energy into the music. Or even if we, on the flip side, we just saying something, speaking positivity or just like life, that energy like is like, that's one, like good energy you cannot like fake, right? So to try to put that in the music, that's what I try to do. I try to put like good energy in music, or good emotion, like feelings you can't fake. When you feel something, it's just you feel it, you gotta take it, you gotta experience it. And I want somebody to feel like that when they listening to our music, for sure.
Yeah, and just to add to it, exactly what he was saying, but also like me, just as a consumer, like some of the artists that I like listening to, like I just feel like they're vulnerable, and I know like a lot about them through their music. So like for example, like J. Cole, to me, like not, I wouldn't say growing up, but like during like the college days or whatever, listening to like the warm up, the come up, Friday Night Lights,
Right.
like I
What
really
he was
kind of
going
like
through.
you know I'm invested in this artist. Like I know that he's half black, half white. He's from North Carolina, moved to
Right.
New York. He used to play basketball, was in Queen, like stuff I just know just off his music. So it's kind of like, oh, I know this person, and I'm just following the journey. So like anybody that's listening to our music, I kind of want that experience in return. So I feel like that's the best way to kind of get like a core fan base at least, and just having like a soundtrack for people's lives. I think that's my purpose, like when I make music. So yeah.
I love that. And when you make beats, do you ever think of a vibe naturally, like where you're like, oh, I hope this is going to be a love song? Does that happen?
I mean, sometimes at first I really had that mindset where I was like, I'm gonna make like a trap banger, I'm gonna make like a love song.
Right.
But then I figured out that like, you know, my idea of what the song is, and then like what the musician hears and what they do with it, those are usually different things, and that's awesome.
Wow.
Because especially when I started working with you guys, and like, you know, some of the songs we made, I had like a certain idea about how it would sound, like what kind of song it would be, and then you guys would send it to me and it'd be like totally different. But like I'd be so pumped because I'd be like, oh, sick! Like now it's got this whole different life, you know.
Right.
So I've kind of like let go of control of that sort of stuff. Now I just try to like, you know, make like a nice stage for someone to stand on, if that makes sense, you know, like make it's like a comfortable room. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Like make a comfortable room someone wants to be in, and then they'll want to stand in there. It's like this place, you know. Be comfortable.
Yeah.
That's deep. I like that.
No, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And I think music, like just in general, it has different, going back to the vibe word, but like for example, for us, like I wouldn't say we make like a lot of club songs and stuff like that, because naturally we don't always go to the club. You get what I'm saying? So
That's
it's
not
just
my
kind of
lifestyle
reflect.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's just a
So, yeah.
reflection of like one's lifestyle. So I'm not gonna, in our music at least, we're not gonna like portray something else. Like we do that, and we could do it here and there, but that's like not majority of the stuff that we're saying. Like we talk about real life struggle or relationship stuff, and you know, just what we're going through. So
the type of music I want to hear, like when I'm commuting on a train or just waking up or something.
I
like
can't
that.
wake up and listen to mad trap stuff. Like I don't know, I just can't do it. Like
You must really be on demon time.
every
that, but,
time, bro.
You know, sometimes I just need something. I like you mentioned earlier, like a soundtrack to my life. Like I need to hear different type of music, and it's like when I think about making music, I want to hit different points of someone's point. It might be something in their day where they could just put that song on. Like I'm gonna just listen to this. Like it's like intro to Friday Night Lights. When I'm going through something, that Friday Night Lights intro, I'm back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Facts.
So here's a line that really hit different for me. Things you learned from me, you do with someone else. I heard that line during while I was listening to the project, and I want to ask y'all, and I know this is a hard one, but y'all ever gave something to someone, a significant other, that you like, dang, like I kind of wish I ain't showed them that. Like something, it could be advice, it could be you gave them something, it could be, oh, now she know how to ride a bike and she's riding bikes with the next person. Like something like that, you know?
I like that.
I would only say like the only thing that I'm usually cautious of is just like a lot like personal information, because like sometimes I feel like people can use that as fuel like within an argument or something, like so like I don't know, like I try to be as private as it's hard for me to open up a lot of the times, but I don't know, like I'm all about just being an individual at the same time. Like I'm all for like, you know, in a relationship you have to kind of be like connected all together, but like if I help you grow in any way, then that's dope. Like, you know, take it for what it is. I'm not gonna be upset about that or nothing like that. So yeah, I would say
I mean, just to piggyback off that, I definitely feel the same. Like I feel like, you know, if you know, if you have a certain type of game, I have a certain type of game, and we just soaking each other game. If you learning from me, I'm learning from you. Like that's just dope. You know what I mean? Like I'm not here to, you know, what you learn from me, take it and run with it. You know what I mean? Like, and vice versa. What I learn from you, take it. That's what I think. That's what, you know, people come into your life for. You know, to kind of learn from them, learn what you like, and learn what you don't like. So I don't think it's like I should never show. I don't feel like I could ever been with someone serious, be done with them, and be like, I should have never showed them that lifestyle. That's crazy.
I do worry about like the personal information though. Like I don't know. Like I've had a couple bad like relationships that ended like kind of poorly, and like just because of like the paths we decided to walk, and then like down the road I was like, man, like I hope they don't know where I live. Like, you know, like, I wish I didn't give them my social media. I had a couple of girls like they set up a fake Instagram, and they like would message me on the fake Instagram, and I'm like, man,
what? That's insane.
That's wicked.
You messing with some wild guys, bro. I feel like I don't mess with no one that's gonna do some crazy stuff like that.
If they, I don't know. That's I
it's
don't
just
like
the
that.
energy, man. It's the energy I attract.
Energy.
You know, it's
you gotta switch it up with stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, like y'all never look bad and y'all talking to your significant other, and then you know y'all screenshot each other. Or you don't know if they're screenshotting you. Like I'd be worried about stuff like that. Like
That's your significant other screenshotting you.
Yeah, like when you're on FaceTime, but you just woke up. Like you look crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff like that.
I would do stuff like that.
Yeah,
I would do that like just cause. Right?
I know y'all do that. Like guys in general. I don't know why.
I do that just to be funny. Like I'll just send it to you like one day. Like if
we
you
was
at
on
work.
FaceTime. Yeah, I don't think too deep.
Like look at you.
I get the concern though, because there's like some celebrities who have had like their photos leaked from like when they just got out of bed. Like, you know what I mean? And they look like someone else. So
all that makeup is gone.
Oh man.
Speaking of that, I got a song called "Pretend" on there. So, I mean, y'all titles, oh man, they hit different. You choose. I mean, they're deep. I want to talk about Jada Waiter. We gonna get there. But, you know, that's that towards the end, since I ended with it. So yeah, tell me about "Pretend," like the vibe, the energy, and the process of making that song.
Yeah, "Pretend." So you did the then you created the hook for it.
Yeah, we created the hook. It was like a lot with that. Like we changed around a lot, which we usually never really do with a song, but we just changed it up. And I think it was just one of those things. We just like we didn't know what to do with it, but it made,
we had it for long, too, like 2 years, I think.
Yeah. Sat on it for a little bit, like. I think I re-recorded my verse, which I never really do. It was just like one of those things. It was something there, but we just didn't know what was there yet. And then I think that's what, again, going back to the project, like you'll have something. If the project is like a journey, you know, if say you're on a destination, you're driving somewhere, right? If it's really a journey, you're gonna have some complications somewhere. And I think that's what that song was, in a sense, like trying to figure it out, but it came together so perfectly. Like, so afterwards, it was like, oh, this was just so organic. We just had to do it just like this. It's like, if we're going somewhere, girls on road, and like, we get a flat tire, just get the donut out of the thing, put it on, and then we back on road. Or call AAA or whatever you want to do.
And then we got the hook, the feature on there from Oswin Benjamin. Shout out to him. So like, even like when we had the hook and then we sent it to him, we were just like, yeah, we got this hook. We want you to say it. But if you want to do something different, go ahead. Right. And then he came back with the hook, doing it he heard the verses and kind of did this hook by itself, and it came out dope. So appreciate him. Shout out to him for that. So.
Yeah, that's a hot record.
Right.
Yeah, I like that song.
It just came together. Like I said, we were just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
So remember, like, I feel like hearing those lyrics, it was so deep. Like, all right, I'm gonna quote it.
Yeah. Right.
I wonder if the plant's gonna die in the winter. Wonder if your plan's gonna change in December. Wonder if the lust's gonna live to remember. Like, like anybody wanna? I mean, I said it. Because I got to ask the question, right? Like, what is the real meaning behind these lyrics? But if anybody would like to recite it and we can edit me out, y'all can.
No, that's not. You saying it perfect. Yeah. That one, man, it just came to me, man. That's a Esco beat. Shout out to him. That's one person we started off like on SoundCloud making music with, and he kind of just reconnected with us and sent us that beat. But overall, like the concept of the hook is just being worried about longevity within like, and it doesn't even have to be like a relationship with your significant other. Just in general, like you know, it could be work or anything that you got going on. You know, it's just you wonder if you're gonna for the next 52 weeks, a year, whatever, if you're gonna still kind of be in that same path or whatever, that same journey. And if it's worth it, and if you're gonna be appreciated for it at the same time, it's like, wonder if the plant's gonna survive this harsh winter that's going on, like, and if you know if they're gonna do that, and you hope that you continue to strive and grow throughout like the different seasons of your life, and all you got to do is just kind of stay consistent. But you always have that thought about, damn, like, what if this shit don't plan out how you want it or whatever. So that's kind of what that hook came about, and like the beat just sounded so kind of like 90s to me, so that's why we had the scratching in it, and it was just more like we just needed that track to kind of offset everything else. I feel like it was dope though, honestly. I love that track for sure.
Yeah, like again, like it felt like it had that we wanted to just display some lyrics, you know, with some passion on it, saw some passion on it, and that beat just came together.
Yeah, dope.
Definitely, it did make me feel like, oh, this is like familiar, but in a good way, because 90s music is so hard to come by.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you ever find yourself trying to like reincarnate a certain time period, or is it like
I could talk for a long time about that. Like, oh man, because I grew up like listening to hip hop, and like I like listening to old stuff, like Talib, you know, and like like really like
Black Star, Talib Kweli,
bro, like
Mos Def and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't know, I just when I so I started listening like Eminem, Big Shock, right, and then like I
Big Shock,
but then like I wanted to look into the genre. Because I've been listening to like rock music my whole life, and I was like, I want to know more about hip hop. So like, you know, I did my research, and I like dug back and listened to like old records, and then like I kind of just kept tracking like all the new guys and what their influences were. Like when Kendrick came up, you know, I was like starting to listen to like West Coast, older West Coast hip hop, and so yeah, I really like trying to capture some of that sound. And you know, like these guys, like you guys love like boom bap. You guys do a lot of stuff, but like boom bap, you guys kill it on boom bap sounds.
Yeah. I feel like we just kind of grew up in that era, so it makes sense to kind of have that type of skill.
100%. Yeah.
So organic. It just takes me back. Every time I hear a beat, that just reminds me of growing up. I'm like, we got to get on this.
Yeah, we got to rap on this.
100%. So like, I always like throwing like some of those beats your way, and you guys use them sometimes, and like the way that you guys like deliver your vocals, it's kind of like a powerful performance a lot of times. Like you put a lot of punch into it, and so I don't know, I have fun with that, you know, just those sounds.
Nah, that's dope. One quick question for you. So like going back to Remember and just like longevity, do you think about that like as you're doing like a lot of these content that you're doing, like the interviews and stuff like that? How do you like see yourself going, or do you worry about like the future or the next interview or stuff like that?
Yes, that is an incredible question, because I'm not gonna lie, I worry about that probably every 2 days. Like every other day. And I think social media has a big part to do with that, because what ends up happening is like, oh, so and so release content, this person release content, but then it's like I can literally go 7 days and be like, I have content, but I don't have time to edit it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I worry a lot about that. And also I think what it is like everybody has those success, like your wins and your fails.
Right.
And like even if your successes outweigh your fails, you still gotta financially meet somewhere to make yourself like, well, in my perspective, because similar to you, I don't want to be in the room. So, I have to make a certain amount of money to do it like 24/7 for the rest of my life.
Right.
I feel at least. So yeah,
nah, for sure.
Definitely worried, because if I could live on like a lower income and be happy, I would totally do it. But I don't know, I'm bougie somewhat.
Nah, for sure. So like as far as like your interviews, I wanted to ask you also like who are the top people that inspire you?
Yeah, Lala Anthony. She was
word?
the one.
She was the MTV days.
Yes.
Yeah, she was killing it back then.
Insane. I was like a kid, like under the age of 10, I think. And I was like, oh, because my mom, she always be like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, that. Like I was like that her. And then Oprah, she has her own show, and she killed it her whole career. So
still.
Yeah,
she's still killing it.
And a network.
Yeah,
so,
the Oprah network, the own network.
It's like I want to look like Lala, right? And I want to host a show. And I like how Lala, she was at MTV, TRL, then she went into acting.
Yeah,
I love that path. But then I also want to have a show like Oprah.
Okay.
So it's like somehow trying to combine the two, if that makes sense.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope, honestly. And then with how times are now, like if you have that leverage, you can kind of create, like, for example, Oprah, like she can pretty much do anything at this point, like whatever she wants. So that's dope.
I actually want to ask you guys, like, so now it seems like there's not just music, like if someone's a musician, they also have a brand,
right?
They have like a show, they have like a YouTube thing. Like, what do you guys make of like the way that people are like, everyone's doing multiple things now?
I mean, I think it's dope. I think it goes back to I think it says a few things. I think it says where we're at in times right now with technology and all of that things. But also it goes back to us investing into like that artist, like, or to that person or the person doing the content. Because like my brother mentioned, when I'm listening to someone like J. Cole, I know all about him, but YouTube wasn't as popular back then and all that stuff, but that was his way of putting out that much information out through his music. Now, like, it's kind of the same thing. We have to do the same thing, but we kind of have to do different avenues of that. So I me personally, I love that we're in the time where I could listen to a artist like song and then go to his YouTube and see him in the studio recording, or just see him driving down LA somewhere doing something. I just watched like Where's Wallow and Larry June, and they was just all over, just in the studio making smoothies and stuff. Like, I'm like, this is dope. Like, you know what I mean? So I think, to me, it just shows where we're at in our times right now. Like, you kind of got to give them all of these different areas of you, because back then people weren't able to do it that way. They only did it in like one avenue, or that's the avenue that they had right then and there. But now I love it all. Like, I love it all.
Nah, for sure. And it's just a way to just get more invested with like the people you like. Honestly, like you get to know kind of like their taste or what inspires them in that aspect. If someone's doing like a YouTube video on, it could be an artist and then just do a YouTube video about cooking or a TikTok video about cooking. Like, oh, he can really chef it up, like stuff like that. So I think it depends. I think for newer artists is important. It's dope for older artists, but like at the same time, like I wouldn't want to see Jay-Z doing a TikTok. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like,
unless he do it, unless he doing some dope
stuff, but it's just kind of like weird, like, oh, what you doing? But it just depends, man. For new people, I definitely think it's important though, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to lie, and I don't want to sound like a hater, but I'm just being honest. It throws me off a little bit because everybody who had their own lane, like everybody's doing interviews now.
No,
It's like
true.
I was
Yeah.
an artist.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
interviews.
Oh, okay.
I was an
Yeah, I know
actor,
what you mean.
but I do interviews now.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
it's kind of, you know, it reminds me of like the YouTube or just like influencers, anybody, and then they just out of nowhere start doing music.
rapping.
That shit is weird.
But
son.
it's like I don't know. I think I'm trying to play devil's advocate or something like that. I feel like you don't want to be boxed into just what you know what
No,
you
yeah, I
want to
get
do.
that, but-
It's like, say if something like you get lit off, like say I do music and I
Yeah.
for some reason just start doing a podcast, right? And the
Yeah.
podcast take off, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I do music. This is
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? This is my baby right here. Let me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to still give y'all music while I'm still doing the podcast because y'all like this, but I
Yeah.
still gotta give y'all the music that which I
No, but
love
okay,
doing.
that's different, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like people that's just say somebody just doing pranks for whatever reason,
Right.
and they just get lit or whatever,
Right.
and then for whatever reason they be like, now I'm gonna put out a song because they don't even like do like
Yeah, that's
you know,
different.
Like
I'm
people
just-
do that
yeah.
though. Like
Yeah,
now
they
people do that. Like
do.
let's get a quick bag off this, and
Right,
then
right.
they disappear. After
Yeah,
a couple
that
Yeah.
that not so much. But if someone was doing pranks, but they also did music,
Yeah,
I'm
that's,
like,
yeah, no, that's
That's
different. That's
different.
different.
So
yeah, that and what you said, quick bag. That's
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
quick-
feel like it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel conflicted because I think it's awesome that it's so easy to do like different things because we have so many resources. So like let's say someone's doing pranks, right? And then they start making music and it turns out that's what they're supposed to be doing. And like they actually get opportunities because of YouTube and social media, and so like they're actually allowed to chase their dream, you know? But then I feel like there are people who are just chasing a bag,
Right.
and they're kind of like almost like saturating the market.
right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Where it's like there's so much music now, and I think part of that is like it's so much easier to release music
Right.
and put it out there, and
Right.
you know, so it's a double-edged sword. I feel like.
And
Yeah.
even in the podcast and interview space, like you see like a lot of artists now jumping into it now. So do you feel like it's overly saturated at this point?
I do, but you know what it is? Like I'm all for like everybody who's trying to make it. I'm all for find your way and make it.
True.
What would be making me mad is the people who already made it and their lane is solidified
And
and
they,
super
they
lit.
just keep
And
they want everything
capitalizing.
else.
I know.
I'm
I
like,
get you.
of course you could
I
book
get
J.
you.
Cole because you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is not even
All right, you
fair.
gotta name names. You
Yeah.
gotta.
No, but
Who
I
you
know
beefing
what you
with?
mean. I know what you. I get 100%. I get what you mean. It could be like frustrating a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you already lit, bro. Like relax.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like if I'm in that, it's like Diddy probably do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like if I have different lanes I could do it, I'm gonna try to do it
Nah,
like
I feel
that.
you. I
You
respect
know what I
it
mean?
too. Like you got to get it by any
Yeah.
means.
I get that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, like I be thinking, you know, when you think about other lanes, it's like I'm happy. Like I love like my relationship, everything. But I say all the time, like if I was single, I'm like, I see why girls go after like rich rappers. Cause like the girls, they become celebrities. Nobody knows who they are.
Yeah.
Now they can start their business. Now they could be a music artist.
Exactly.
Now they can
Right.
do anything they want because they're so lit.
Mhm.
So
true.
speaking off of that, who's in love with Jada Waiter? Which one of y'all?
So that no, so I
That was smooth.
So that
Yeah,
smooth
yeah,
transition,
yeah,
smooth
transaction.
transition. So Jada Waiter, I just feel like she's. I mean, she's one of the persons that I just been following on Instagram for mad long, and it's crazy because my brother was just naming all of our albums. Girls on Road, Girls Who Travel, Girls Who Tour, and one of the artworks is like kind of her in a cartoon version or whatever. So, but anyway, I say that to say this: I've been following this chick forever, like from Snapchat, like when Snapchat was first lit, or Instagram, and like to me, she's always been like on some independent hustling stuff. Like it's been crazy, like to have seen her, like legit, it's just one of those people that I paid attention to on social media that was just taking pictures to selling clothes to selling wigs to just capitalize on everything. I'm just like, wow, this chick is like crazy right now. Like she's a force to be reckoned with. Like I don't think people are, and that space is crazy because there's like a lot of young black females that's just killing it. Like, and I feel like she was like one of the first pioneers. Is just like young, like I'm out here doing this, that, and the third, and like look how big she is now. Like independently from like Lil Baby, she has like a crazy following like already, and has like products that sells crazy. Like so. shout out to her. Like she's like a hustle. And my thing is that's the first time I've seen something like that documented like that. It's just like she really it's like people who was invested in Cardi B before. I guess she, I don't really know Cardi B's story, but she was just on Instagram. She was a stripper before. But to see somebody flip that into what you is now is like crazy. Like it's crazy.
What do you think of like plants, like the idea of industry plants? Because I see a lot of stuff where it's like someone blows up and it's obvious to you that they've been grinding, putting the work in. You've been watching them for a while, but then you hear everyone saying like, "Oh, they're a plant." Like,
well, in this scenario with this chick, I wouldn't say it was a plant because, like I said, I've been following on Instagram, and I don't even know how I even started following. I was just like, damn, she posted a lot of pictures, and it looked like you doing a lot on this little app, like brand deals is lit and stuff like that. Like, how are you? I'm fascinated. Like, how are you doing this right now? Like, you playing this game too crazy, and it's like you really have to utilize your resources. Stuff like that. So I mean I do believe in some plants. Somebody's cousin is like work for Rockefeller or something. They low. It's like put it like this. Would you say Diddy's sons are plants? You know what I mean? Would you say that? You wouldn't necessarily say that, but there's people who got family members that's in positions. Diddy's sons probably like they Diddy's sons for a reason. Like King Combs and all them, they lit dudes because they Diddy's sons. But imagine if you had a son somewhere and you wanted him to get next to somebody, Diddy's son or something like that. You're gonna put him next to him. You'll be because you have that connection, and then you just like just an industry player. I guess. I would say I don't necessarily believe in that term because it's probably just somebody family member trying to do something for their son that has a dream or something like that. I get you. You know what I mean?
I never heard of it. I was about to say, can you explain it? But I think you basically explained it. Like, using inference.
It used to be like a bigger term, like early, like 2012, 13.
Did I just date myself by using that? Was it?
No, it was a big term. I don't hear it as often now, but like beforehand, it used to be like, who is this guy? He just got popping out of nowhere. Like
his cousin is something. Like they planted him. Like
that makes sense. But you know what's so crazy? I feel like, and I could be wrong. No, I feel like I be saying that, and then when I actually do research, I be like, oh, you was in that video from 2000. You was
right, like how was you in that video you just now lit now, but you was in a video from 2000. Like how, bro? Like,
you ain't know nobody.
You ain't I came out the mud. Nah, bro, you wildin' out.
I just putting songs out on SoundCloud, and one day get out of here.
That's the only place where it annoys me is when somebody's trying to act like they're like, or I don't know, like it's a miracle or like they don't acknowledge. I feel like you should acknowledge if people helped you get where you are.
Oh yeah, for sure, I mean? For sure. If there's any holes in your story, people gonna find out, boy.
Yeah, nowadays.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know 2 out of 4 of us have not watched the Kanye thing, so I ain't gonna go too deep. Not too deep, but I know what scene I'm talking about in part 1, where you can't leave any holes out. That is 100%. Don't leave nobody out and mention everybody.
Yeah. No, that's like the vibe, and like. I don't know. We don't need to go too deep with it, but like that documentary really taught me how important it is to like keep your circle tight. You know what I mean? Because like Kanye had certain musicians that like he supported, and they supported him like fully. And like in the documentary, you can see them like bringing him on stage, introducing him to people. Like I feel like that's part of it too. Like you got to acknowledge who's helping you because like that's your community. I mean, if you don't have a community, what do you have?
Yeah, I think it's important. Like. Not even just artists, just in general. Like, it was a quote from Issa Rae when she said, you have to network across. So, like, even, like, us meeting you, like, the first time when we did the performance, that's why I wanted to stay in contact to kind of link with you to do, like, another interview and stuff like that because I like your grind. Like, you really be putting out a lot of dope stuff, and it seemed like you be everywhere, right? Like, every event in New York, I'd be like, damn, she's everywhere. Sure. But,
do you have a twin?
right?
I wish. I would love to be honest with you, if I could have a twin.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Especially doing, like, music or just pursuing your passion, like, with your brother is, like, the dopest feeling in the world.
How crazy would it be if, like, you pretended, like, it was just one of you, right?
The whole time, right?
Imagine this guy doesn't sleep.
Out the bag, bro. That'd tank us. It was like, industry play. Industry play. It's two of them. Yeah.
That would be
a baby picture would come out.
Yeah,
they was like, nah.
That'd be fun. No, that'd be horrible.
But you know what I find interesting about you guys, which I'm totally amazed by? I feel like, well, at least is what they portray on television. Twins, they tend to clash, right? Because they be like, why we got to dress alike? Why you go everywhere I go? Like, sometimes they show it on TV, like, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the perception on TV or twins or what. I don't know, because it be twins like that, for real, though. Like, I'm not even going to lie. We just, like, too chill. I don't know. How I explain it is just, like, if you got a sibling that you cool with, it's the same thing to me. Like, I don't see no difference in, like, an older or little brother or something like that just maybe close in age. But, I don't know. Like, we don't, like, when we was younger, you know, our parents would dress us up together, but we just naturally like doing stuff together, especially when it comes to music. So, I don't know. It depends.
And then we always, like, doing, like, our differences. Because, like, our parents would dress us together when we was little, but I think they knew early on we wasn't with it like that. Like, they was like, we not doing this no more like that. Or we not putting it on them like that. They'll do whatever they want. And then I think that's developed our, like, you know, we twins, but we have our differences and stuff like that.
Facts.
You guys do match outfits sometimes, though.
For sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
no, it's sick.
So, like, usually when we do, like, NuEleven Sundays, when we do the freestyle, like, we purposely, like, match colors just to make it look better. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so when we post it on Instagram, it's two twins, similar colors, and we rapping bars. And it just looks dope. Like,
that's fine. This is like I'm sorry, I have to ask this. Do y'all feel what the other one feels?
Nah, man.
I just had to.
That doesn't, bro. I never felt that. Like, I don't know what people be saying that I never, like, ever came. I don't know, man. It never happened, right?
Yeah, I can't say that I've experienced something like twin. Like, I can't say that unless we might have said something together one.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's probably coincidence kind of thing, but having a feeling, like, felt something that he felt, not necessarily. I would probably say, like, I know out of, like, we have other siblings. Obviously, I'm closer to him than my other siblings. That's my twin, you know what I mean? That's obviously, but I just think because that's my twin, you know what I mean?
It's fire.
I like that idea, though. Like, the twins being linked, I don't know. It's like, it's cheesy, but
maybe. But like I said, other twins are different. Maybe they have some type of connection, bro, like that. But it's not like that for us anyway.
How did you guys handle COVID? Like, what was that like? Like, well, the COVID time period. Like, was y'all enclosed? Was y'all home for a certain part?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy. But me personally, I have, like, I worked 2 jobs, so both of them was essential. So I was, like, outside the whole time, and fortunately, I didn't even get, like, COVID or nothing like that. You know, thank God. Like, I don't know what CMOS and stuff like that. Tea, that's all I was drinking. But I was really outside, like, I think I was outside enough is what I'm saying. Like, to me, I was just like, wow, like, it was like something out of a movie because there was nobody on the trains and nothing like that. It was like where New York was
traffic.
Like, it was like
traffic in New York. It was amazing. That was nice.
It was like the purge. Like, it was weird. You know, that's all I was in. Like, it's weird, but I really appreciate, like, the time that it gave us back, or the, you know, just really time to ourselves. Like, I think it was helpful for a lot of people to really, like, readjust and see like, readjust their priorities in life. Like, what's really important? Like, is going to this job all the time really, really important, or really, like, your mental health or, you know, your well-being? This is more important than what y'all got going on. I got to make sure me is good so I can make sure that, you know, the only way the world is going to get the best version of me is I take care of myself. And I think it did that for a lot of people. So I think it was a blessing in disguise.
And you guys started building a studio during COVID, right? That was when you guys were like, all right, we're going to make the studio.
Make, like, an in-home studio and just be more consistent with what we was doing, honestly. So that just woke us up to be like, yo, we going back to being self-sufficient. Like, you just have to, you know, sometimes you don't have people to edit the videos, but you got to do it, you know? So
and then look how many, like, all the creators, so many different stuff have came out of this pandemic that's had been dope. TikTok being one of them, like, you know, I think that's like I say this all the time. To me, TikTok is the new SoundCloud because that's how I find all the new music. I don't really know how to find all the new music no more, but TikTok steer me in that direction and keep me like, oh, this is lit. This is a lit song right now.
Yeah, we actually met on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
In like 2016, I think.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, like it used to be the place to go for like new music or like, you know, as a musician, it was a really great place to connect with other musicians. I don't know if TikTok is that now.
Yeah, because it's dope. It's like its own community. Like you have like
sick.
TikTok specific artists, like mad people. Like Coi Leray is one person. Like if you wasn't on TikTok very early, Coi Leray was on there doing her thing early. That's how. It's not surprising me that she's as big as she was. She was like the #1 artist on there. Like as far as in our genre, she was the #1 artist on. It was nobody else on there like that except for her and like a few other people that's on there. So I think yeah, it has its own community, just like any other thing. I think, you know, like when Instagram was there, like you have these core people from Instagram, but now you got these core people from TikTok type thing. So
I get you.
That's deep. Do you guys have songs on TikTok? Like, have you guys figured out how to upload tracks up there yet?
Yeah, we do it. Like when we
yeah.
upload our music to the DSPs, it goes on TikTok and stuff like that. But I would say that one of our biggest songs, "Love, Sex, and Water," produced by Sullivan.
Beats.
Hey.
One of the main reasons why it got like almost close to like 3 million streams. One of the main reasons why, because of that, was because of, well, it was called Musically before, but it was someone used it on TikTok, but it was called Musically before, and this was like very like 2017,
Yeah, it was
and then
early.
it started going crazy, like, and then like we started getting so many subscribers, our streams was going up, and we're like, what is going on this Musically app, which then turned into TikTok, and that's how we got like one of our biggest songs, like
That's
crazy.
lit.
Yeah.
Congratulations, 3
Thank you.
million. Did you
Thank
guys
you.
celebrate?
Nah,
Yeah. I
We're just
mean,
grinding,
I
like-
think we've been celebrating the
It
whole
just-
time.
it's
Like,
like
it's
an
just
ongoing thing.
yeah.
Like, this is lit. Like, I can't believe this song is still going.
And that's like only on Spotify. Like, it's on
Yeah,
SoundCloud,
yeah.
Apple Music, all that. So like the 3 million is only on like Spotify. Like, so it got way more than
yeah,
that.
it has to.
No,
Would
it's
you guys
crazy.
ever do like a dance, some type of
A dance.
trend, like
Yeah,
to kind
trend.
of do a trend with your songs? Yeah, ever think about that.
I'm not good at that. Like, I would love to try to do that, but I'm just not good at that. Or I just haven't figured out the formula. I'm not necessarily like a dancer like that. Like, we Jamaican and stuff like that, so we dance like that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The vibe is in us for sure. I just don't know how to do those trends and stuff like that.
It's hard to figure it out.
I can't formulate it as of right now, but
Yeah.
definitely the plan is to get a song or our album like streaming crazy. We'll definitely have a #1 song on TikTok one of these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
We're gonna
sure.
figure that part out for sure.
Hell yeah, it's just finding like how we want to present it, you know, because we don't want to do it in a weird way where it's just
Yeah.
like people are just knowing us from TikTok rather than just or like the song being bigger than us,
Yeah.
and people not being invested. So it's tricky with TikTok.
That's the
for
tricky
sure.
thing, man. I was thinking about that the other day because, like, you got to make sure that people are invested in you.
Right.
Not like the song.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
part of that is, like, you got to put as much of yourself into the music as you
Right.
can.
Exactly. Going back to what we were saying earlier, like those like stuff like we do music, but when someone listen to our music, then see this video, they're gonna be like, all right, cool, this is dope.
Yeah.
Like, I like the
Yeah.
conversations, I like what they talking about. They want to be invested in us, so
Facts.
it's more engaging now. We could be more engaged with our audience.
True. And I wanted to ask y'all got music videos y'all trying to drop off the project? Anything y'all working on right now?
Yeah, so next week we're actually dropping a new project, Hail Mary Volume 2, completely produced by Sullivan Beats.
Ooh.
So we're working on that. We definitely shot like a video for one of the songs, Logic, which is out right now. We just didn't put it out yet, so we'll probably put it out like within the next couple weeks and maybe like shoot a couple more visuals and stuff for it. But that one, and you know, still pushing Girls on Road and stuff like that. We're gonna keep doing like just finding ways to just put our music out there just on a visual aspect. Cause like going back to like the pandemic and COVID and being self-sufficient, like I picked up a camera myself and just started recording stuff and just making sure that we can document and just piecing it together. So I like doing stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably like the newest stuff that we have going on. What about you? You got anything?
I don't have anything scheduled for like release, but I don't know. I'm kind of taking a step back and just like trying to work, put my head down, and just like, you know, trying to get a project together or something, because I don't know, like I haven't been. I used to be more religious with it. Like, you guys know, I used to do like a beat every day of the summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think like Kanye did that once or
Yeah.
something.
Right.
Wow.
3 weeks a day for something. I can't remember the line, but it's something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So I used to do that, and I think now I'm trying to like take a step back and like evaluate like musically kind of what my goals are and be a little more mindful with it.
Right. And I mean, overall, I think like ideally what our plan is to do. I think the way I'm seeing it, like the iTunes, the Spotify's, the Tidals, they're social media platforms too, in a way, in some way, shape, or form. So I think our goal this year is just to flood the market with music. Like that's our way of posting on those things, is posting music, right? So we just gonna flood the market with a lot more music. I think we got a lot of catching up to do because during the pandemic we weren't able to record because we weren't going into the studio. Now we got our own home studio. Now just want to put out so much music.
For sure.
That's exciting. I overheard something. You guys have like 100 songs, 200 songs. Like,
yeah,
what?
we started doing like a campaign called 100 Tracks a Deal a few years ago, and we were just like, all right, this the plan. We either gonna put 100 tracks out or get a deal. Anywhere in between, it don't matter. We just gonna commit to it, and it was like the best thing ever that we did because it allowed us to be consistent. It allowed us to find our sound, like our own unique sound. It's part of the relationship we got with Sullivan and a bunch of other producers. And like our biggest song, Love, Sex, and Water, was like the 80th something track. That just went crazy. That just went crazy. So it was just like, if we ain't do that, we wouldn't even be, probably wouldn't even be sitting here right here. Like it's
we probably
crazy.
wouldn't be talking to you.
So,
Wow.
but the campaign was more so like really for us to invest in ourselves. Like it was just like one of those things. Like I post that I'm the person. I'm like I'm not gonna post something or say something that I'm not gonna do. You know what I mean? So I said one day on social media or to my friends, I'm gonna do 100 tracks. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I don't care what we got going on. I'm gonna make sure we hit our goals, and that was the promise for us. So we hit the goal. We hit 100, and one of the 80th songs was the one that was going crazy. And now we're like, nah, we gotta keep going.
And then from there, just kind of like open our eyes to like the real like independent grind. Like so like. Now, like, I'm fully in tune to, like, artists like Russ, like La Russell, like Coda the Friend, people like that who's, like, independent but, like, really killing it. Right. And, like, even like Nipsey Hussle, I got the marathon sweater on right now, but, like, he was really on that, like, independent grind, like, heavy and, you know, owning your masters and stuff like that. And, like, that's that grind, I feel like, we in it for the long run.
Right.
So,
and like if we really wanted to talk about like from a business standpoint, if we want to talk like us as a business, like the profit margin for independent artists is way better than certain things. You know, there's no middleman between us and putting stuff on TuneCore.
For
like,
real.
we just uploading it. You know what I mean? So definitely. And I think that's the route. If we really talking about like the long game, like really us building our catalog up to we have our own leverage.
That's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I love that.
What about you? What you got going on next?
I mean, so this is the second episode of the Sicarah show, and I'm so grateful to be able to shoot it with you guys, especially because COVID was not our friend for the past 2 years, trying to link with y'all, like, like. But what I want to do, more conversations. I want to talk about relationships, millennials, work, careers, because I think there's so many topics that need to be discussed, and I think like even looking at the suicide rate amongst millennials and things like that, I'm like, we kind of like, I think everybody should talk, help each other, and create like a safe place. I think entertainment is great. I love entertainment. I'll still talk about that. But I definitely want to have more like an open conversation with like multiple people where we all could interject. And I like playing devil's advocate and stuff like that. So,
nah, that's dope, man. Can't wait to see all that.
Thank you. And no, same with you guys. I'm like, yo, so 80th track was the track. Like, I'm like, I'm inspired because, listen, I tried to be an artist. I made like one song and I was like, it just took too long. Like, I just.
The first song is like a long.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
And that's just that was just the hundreds that we started with. We was already making music before that.
So,
Yeah, we were making music before that. Like we just said 1 year, we was just like, all right, we just gonna do 100. We probably already had 100 before, but we was just like, you know what, we just gonna go again. You know what I mean? Because my thing is like, I don't want to be at a place in my life where I feel like I didn't give this music thing a real shot.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm in the studio. I'm investing in myself. I'm doing it. Like I'm living it. I'm breathing it. This is what I want to do. This is my passion. This is what I care about. You know what I mean? I'm not about to. Nobody's gonna step in the middle of that, of me pursuing that. You know what I mean? Whatever the outcome is on us because we putting it out like this.
Yeah.
That's deep. I felt that.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, if I can't say that I gave it my all and like I put all of myself into it, then you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like we're here.
Yeah.
So
do it. I mean, we got time. Like we got time to do what we want to do. Especially, I think the pandemic showed people that, like, time, you know, it stopped you and said, "Yo, look at your time more wisely. Like you have the time to do what you want to do and
focus on what makes you happy."
Yeah,
like,
man.
A lot of people was getting fired and stuff like that. Like it sucked, but like. It was an eye opener for a lot of people, bro. Like,
I identified with my job, and I didn't realize it until they laid me off after like a couple months. And I was like, "Oh man, I got to figure out like who I am."
That's And you're more than just that, right? You thinking like, how were you just identifying with your job when you're way more than you were someone before this job? Or
it made me realize like part of the culture too, who is like. You are your job, like you are the worth that you bring to your company, but that's not who you are at all.
And it makes people realize that you're disposable. Like, especially if it's not like for these companies, something if it's not your brand or what you're doing, like if you're working for somebody else or whatever, bruh, anybody can be replaced.
100%.
Anybody, and they can get anybody to do it for half the price if they wanted to. So. You just gotta have your eyes open, be aware, and just be conscious about like what you want to put out in the world. And just, I think you just definitely have to manifest it, but also just attack it. And I know it's hard, bro, but you gotta stay positive, right? You just keep going because something gonna break. This ain't the end all be all. Like you gonna catch something, and you gotta just be ready for it. You know.
True.
Yeah, consistency is key. Look, there's a lot of people. It's easy to forget that like most people get bored or like they give up or like especially with music. I feel like there's a ton of people who like are just trying to get a bag or like they're just like playing around. But like you guys have been like, I don't know if you count like doing freestyles when you were like teenagers. You know, you've been doing this for a long time.
It's a part of me. Like it's in me, not on me. You know?
It's in me.
I like if I tried to shake it, I could not. Like, and why would I try to live a life that? You know what I mean? Why would I try to not do this? Like, if it's in me, like I imagine a life like that.
No,
I don't want to go down that route. I'd rather be doing what I love for real.
And it's so hard. Like, cause even like when I think about it, like. It's like, all right, what if I don't do music anymore? But like, say for example, like you know how people like put on like lo-fi music to study and stuff?
Yeah.
Bruh, anytime I do that to try to work, bruh, I just start rapping, bruh. Like I swear to God, like I start thinking the line like like automatic. Like I cannot stop it for the life of me, bruh. It's insane. Like like I just like this beat is hard. Hold on, let me write something. Like and it's so weird, yo. But I just gotta keep doing it, man.
That's dope. And I think before the pandemic, everybody was moving at the speed of lightning, especially in New York. Like, always had something to do. So I also had to reflect, like, you've been running, but where have you been running to?
What direction?
Yeah. So I think that was the best part, just to be like more focused on what do you do with the opportunities or the people you know? Like, how do you actually navigate rather than just moving so much, like have a strategy. So
and I think I learned that too. I think I really got, in addition to me just being more focused on music, like I've been in real big in like personal development, like a lot of, you know, books, like audio. I've realized that I consume better like books. I use audio books more, and I understand that I consume things better through audio, which I never really realized before. And like, you know, books like Richest Man in Babylon, like a lot of those books that these success books or success in what you want to do. Like the same principles are applied. Like, you know, these people are disciplined. These people are putting in the work. They're persistent. They're consistent. It's not a lot of other traits that's being highlighted. It's the same traits. Like be disciplined, be consistent. You know what I mean? Make a strategy and have good intentions, and you'll get there for sure.
That was great. I don't know. Am I allowed to close it? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
go ahead. Close it
Yeah,
out.
it was so funny. I was like, do I close it now?
Yeah,
I don't know
go
what to
ahead.
do. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And this is episode 2 featuring Fame, PdotC, and Sullivan Beats. And you already know this is the Sicarah Show. Make sure you follow everybody. Does anybody want to drop their Instagram?
Yeah, man. Just follow us on everything. Fame_NE. I'm lit on TikTok too right now. I'm lit on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok, but follow me on Instagram, all the digital streaming platforms, Fame and PdotC. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, all that is PdotC_NE. So PdotC_NE. And also follow NuEleven on YouTube. NuEleven, we got our Instagram and TikTok page, and that's NuEleven_NE. That's how you spell NuEleven right here. Yeah, sure. What about you?
Sullivan Beats everywhere, you know, on Instagram, SoundCloud. I think I'm on TikTok too.
Yeah, I saw a few.
Yeah.
You can't even remember.
Well, yeah, I got rid of the app pretty quick. It's Sullivan Beats, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I love it. And this was a great conversation again. And I'm at Sicarah on Instagram, but make sure you watch the full episode on Urban Music Report channel. And that's on Roku, Apple TV, and Verizon. And we're out.
Peace.